speaking. Um, 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 இன்னைக்கு பகவத்கீதால சாப்டர் 18 பார்ட் 1 பார்க்குறோம். சாப்டர் 18ல 78 verses. I mean, we have 78 verses, so we are going to do only the first 40 today. This chapter is a summary of the entire Gita. Chapter 18, synopsis, recap. Chapter 1 and 2 was introduction. Chapter 2.11 starts from 2.11 is Bhagavad Gita starts. 2.7 Arjuna surrenders to Krishna. 2.11 Bhagavad Gita starts. Now chapter 18 is a conclusion. Chapter 18 starts with a question from Arjuna. Here in chapter 18, Krishna summarizes the perennial principles and the eternal truth that were presented in previous 17 chapters. He reiterates that the mode of goodness is the only mode worthy of cultivation. He then concluded that bhakti, or exclusive loving devotion to the Supreme Lord, is the paramount duty, and its attachment is the ultimate goal of human existence. That is Parama Purushartham. So Arjuna's question is, what is the difference between sannyasa and, that is, renunciation, and sacrifice? Sannyasam and tyaga. What is the difference? Renunciation versus sacrifice. In all our Sanatana Dharma scriptures, it's all samvada. Samvada means guru and shishya discussion. It's a dialogue, one-on-one dialogue. Krishna was giving this one-on-one dialogue to Arjuna in the war front. He was not sitting on a stage and giving a lecture. That means it is in the midst of life situation. Whatever situation we all face, in the midst of life situation, this Bhagavad Gita helps us. This is a guidance. So here he says Arjuna is addressing Krishna with 3 specific titles. One is Mahabahu. Mahabahu means physically and mentally strong. Hrishikeshaha. Hrishikesha means one who has conquered his senses. Kesi Nishodan. That means one who has killed the demon Kesi. Now, the question is, we know the question sannyasam versus sacrifice. Sannyasam is renunciation, is giving up both physically and mentally. Sacrifice is letting go, giving up. Now, let's go the discussion further. In the scriptures, there are 3 specific actions, duties that are mentioned. One is nitya karma. Your duty is based on varnashrama, meaning whether one is a student or a family person or a retired person or renunciate, which is in Sanskrit brahmacharya, grahastha, vanaprastha, sannyasa. That is nitya karma. Every individual has definite daily duties. Then naimittika karma is on situational duties. Say some birthdays, wedding day, or somebody passes away, we perform the rituals. Those are naimittika karma. Kamya karma is decide prompted actions. There are several mentioned in the scriptures. One is karira ishti. Karira ishti means it is for the rain. Ishti means fulfilling desire. So to get rain for the entire humanity, karira ishti, or putra kameshti is another one to have a child. So there is a difference between yaga and yajna. Yaga is done in public, Vedic rituals. Because in India, thousands of years ago, the rishis always performed yaga for the benefit of the community. Yajna is performed by individuals, prayers, fasting. These 2 are not your duties, but they are performed as and when required. The next one is Nishiddha karma. This is prohibited karma, should not be done. Suram na pibe, do not drink alcohol. Himsa na kuryat, do not hurt others. So these are Nishiddha karma. You are not supposed to do it. Now, for this Arjuna's question, Nitya Naimittika Kamya Karma, duties, situational duties, and desired prompted duties, these three are taken into factors. Some rishis, Krishna is mentioning what the rishis said. Some rishis say renouncing desired prompted actions and you are sannyasi, you are a renunciate. But perform your day-to-day duties, daily and situational duties. Other sages all says that all actions have to be renounced because if all actions have consequences. Yes, therefore, all actions has to be renounced. Some say that as long as the cause is there, the effect is there. Just because a rose plant has a thorn, we can't say it's a thorn plant and not plant it. Lamp is a good to read Bhagavad Gita. At the same time, fireflies die on it. Right? So these are all part of nature, prakriti, plurality. So some say yajna dana tapas, that is prayer, charity. Therefore, yajna dana tapas, prayer, charity, and spiritual practices must be done. Desire prompted actions needs to be given up. When we perform all these three as an offering, and there are no negative consequences. So only benefits, that is adrishta palan. The adrishta means something that is not visible. Now, verse 4, Krishna says, does not accept that all actions needs to be renounced. He says, need to perform our duties. Desired prompted actions needs to be given up. That is crazy. That is just craving. You can have the desires, you can enjoy it, but do not have the craving for it. I cannot live without it. That should not be there. Welcome, Seema. We are in verse 4.
Namaste, ma'am. Namaste, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
So, but all duties, both Nitya and Naimittika karma, must be performed. That is, duties and situational duties. Duty generally refers to family holder. The student has no responsibility per se except to study and get qualified for sustenance. A retired has no specific responsibility. That person has done it all and now handing it over to the next generation. So a renunciate, a sannyasi, is focusing on spiritual progress. So he has different responsibilities. So duties are specifically focused to family holder. They should not renounce yajna, dana, tapas, that is prayer, worship, charity, and spiritual practices. So Gita is addressed to the general public, to the common man. Therefore, humans, unless they are totally dispassionate about the universal glamour and seeking the highest alone, others should not renounce actions. That means these actions are to purify one's mind. Because we often clean our body. There are multiple soaps available, perfumes available. We clean our body, but we never think of cleaning our mind. So to clean our mind, we have to perform our duties. Without that, we cannot renounce any action. When we do that, he also mentions that if we renounce action and suddenly say, I'm becoming a sannyasi, it could become a haphazard life, neither here nor there. And here he mentions as mithyachara, that is in limbo. Krishna is emphasizing yagam, danam, tapas. That is prayer, charity, and spiritual practices must be performed. Prayer is in chapter 3, verse 13, he had mentioned about yajna. Prayer and worship is yajna. Yajna is performed by the individual. That is Panchamaha Yajna. Deva Yajnam, Rishi Yajnam, Pitru Yajnam, Nara Yajnam, Bhuta Yajnam. So Deva Yajnam is praying to the deity that you are drawn to. It's a family deity. It doesn't have to be any specific. It's not a standard you can do. We can pray to any deity that we are drawn to. Rishi Yagni is reading, analyzing, understanding scriptures. Pitru Yagna is our body is because of our ancestors. So remember them and pay respect to them. Do not speak any negative things. My dad could have done this, like my mother could have done that. No, they did the best with the given circumstances. Then Nara Yagna, which is for humans. Nara means human. Any human, anybody needs any help, like hunger, thirst, support, education, whatever is possible, Nara Yagna. Then Bhuta Yagna, Bhuta means any other being. All beings are made up of 5 elements. So any being that needs support them, feed them, do not hurt them. In India, we used to do rangoli outside the door. That is specifically mainly done with rice flour only, so that few ants can come and eat. That is the significance. We offer to crow. That is also, again, you are giving to the birds. So these are important yajnas. That is, you before you eat, you give to somebody. It's like Atiti Devo Bhava. Those days, people came unexpectedly, right? Nowadays, we all have appointments. So those things are yajnas. We have to live in harmony with nature. All these 5 are called yajnas. And these are very important duty to purify our mind. The second one is dhanam, charity, is before the final stage of renunciation. One who is in a family environment, duty is to earn. Whatever is earned, share with others, in the sense with your family members. Food, clothing, shelter, knowledge, whatever it is. As we share, we learn to give up, let go. Ultimately, one day we have to let go of everything that we have. It's more like a rehearsal before before play or drama. It's a practice, preview little by little. Before the shedding the body, we need to be able to renounce one by one everything. We come naked, we go naked, we cannot carry anything. We might as well share it with others. That's the significance of die before you die. That's the only way to be liberated from the clinging of what we have. This is also renunciation. So this is exactly what Jesus Christ also said in Bible. They know not what they are doing. Lord, please forgive them. That means he knew that I am not this body. So they can nail this body. They are not harming me. They know not what they are doing. They think they are killing me. They are not killing me. They are only hurting this body. I am not this body. So next one is tapaha. Spiritual practices like fasting, not craving for sense pleasures. Scriptures do not emphasize that this must be done. It is not a requirement for a family holder. As a family holder, you can enjoy all pleasures, eat, be happy with food and entertainment, ambitions, goals, accomplishments. But keep trying occasionally, like missing a meal or fasting one meal or without salt, one meal without sugar. Just keep practicing little by little. Just do not fall into the habit of addiction or craving. So when you move on to the next stage of retirement, you are not sad because your body may not cherish all you did during the younger years. And the mind is ready to accept the situation. At that time, retirement is a lot more fun and a blessing when you are not craving. No responsibility, no deadline, no disturbance. One can do whatever one wants. So some keep whining about their life, feeling lonely without mental strength. Therefore, these 3 gives mental strength. Yagyam, Dhanam, Tapas. Prayer, charity, that is spiritual discipline, whatever we do. In response to Arjuna's question, renunciation or sacrifice, both are same, but those who do not have dispassion, this will not be applicable, says Krishna. Now he is going to categorize these 2 into sattva, rajas, tamas. Starts with renunciation and sacrifice. Tamasic renunciation is not performing one's duty because of external delusion, attraction is tamasic. Tamasic and rajasic renunciation, they have no positive benefit. Delusion here is one is not aware of what needs to be done and what should not be done. Without knowing this, renunciation should not be done. In chapter 2, Arjuna was in this state. He was attached to his teachers and grandfather, and he was sad and deluded as to should I fight or not. This was tamasic. He didn't know what is right because he was so closely attached. Without knowing what is right and what is wrong, what is righteous and what is unrighteous, one should not renounce action. Verse 8, there are people who become renunciate for a variety of reasons. I have plenty of loan, let me just escape. Or no, I don't have a job, unable to provide for my family, I don't have a good relationship with my partner. These are escapism from duties. They may appear and try to live a renunciate lifestyle, but these are rajasic renunciation. As long as the body is there, actions must be performed. Physical body and duties, they go hand in hand. Renunciating the actions would only increase ignorance. This will be more like a school dropout, as the student will not have an exposure to the outside world beyond high school level if they drop out. Similarly, one has to acquire the self-knowledge and develop dispassion, not indifference, dispassion towards the world around us. And that's when they choose to renounce actions. Renunciation is not for those who don't want to work. Arjuna, a warrior, came to the war front and wanted to escape from the battlefield. It is his duty as a warrior and needed to stand up for what is right. But he was tempted not to fight. That is rajasic giving up, rajasic sacrifice. Now, I read a book, a monk who sold his Ferrari. He was a lawyer in America. His per day suit was $3,000. And he had a Rolex watch, and he had his he had his horse and a very popular car, and he gave everything up at one point, and he went to Eastern traditions to learn about Sanatana Dharma. One can renounce only when convinced with knowledge. You cannot just leave and go. The duties, primary duties, are very important. When you decide, okay, I'm satisfied, I have everything, I don't want any anymore, I'm going to take sannyasa, that is sattvic sannyasa. We need to say enough of everything. I'm not going to run after these temporary possessions. So it's like, walking a dog. You start walking a dog at starting, and then the dog walks you. That's what happens in for glamorous situations. You start, and then it takes you wherever it wants. So I don't want this, and then renounce is sattvic. A person starts a business, and in 2 years, no gains, no profit, and he decides to renounce everything. That is rajasic sannyasa. Some are lazy to work, to make a living. They choose to have an orange robe and eat whatever they get. That is tamasic. That's all due to ignorance. The rajasic and tamasic renunciation will not gain mental peace or dispassion. Verse 9, he says, sattvic sacrifice, that is, renouncing all actions is sacrifice. Renouncing desired prompted actions and performing prayer, charity, spiritual is also sacrifice. Krishna says the second one, performing all actions with an attachment to the results, meaning the desired result instead of accepting whatever we get as a gift from God. Perform everything as an offering. Whatever we do on a daily basis, perform everything as an offering to Lord. I am not doing this. Everything is getting done by you through this body. Okay, that is sattvic sacrifice. and renunciation. So that is karma yoga. He is emphasizing on karma yoga. Simply do your duty without expecting as an offering to Lord and accept whatever you get. That should be the criteria for anything. Just keep on doing nothing. Don't expect any appreciation. People will appreciate, some may not appreciate. That's fine too. I'm just doing my duty. As long as we are honest to ourselves. In both Rajasic and Tamasic sacrifice, actions are completely renounced, eliminated. But in Sattvic actions, actions keep happening, but the ownership of those actions is renounced. He doesn't see himself as a doer, but as a tool. That is the significance of the flute, Krishna's flute with 9 holes. Our body has 9 holes. It's just his music flows through this body. I'm only a tool. So significant, a patient in the hospital doesn't have a desire to be there forever and get treatment. But he realizes that getting that treatment is, as long as I need, it is my duty. He alone can renounce a disease, right? So prayer, sacrifice, meditation are beauties of a seeker. Such a seeker is not drawn to decide prompted actions. Verse 10, what are benefits of karma yoga? All duties, actions must be performed without expecting, without likes and dislikes. Say a teenager, I have a grandson who is 14 years. I can say, hey, my sister and his children have come. Can you take them to a movie? He is happily will take them because he's that age and he wants to go to the movie too. But the same grandson, if I say, okay, my mother is there, can you take her to the hospital? I have a conference call. He'll say, I have homework. I have exams. That means he doesn't want to do it. So the duty is whether you like it or not, irrespective of it, what needs to be done must be done. That's what duty is. Verse 11 in Gita, in several places, it is emphasized to do your duty. But Upanishads, Vedanta says, renounce all your actions. Please explain. Krishna responds to that. As long as you are attached to the body, you must perform all actions. You should not renounce them. Unless you are detached from this body, upon gaining and realizing that I am that, all actions must be performed. Breathing, eating, sleeping, all are actions. One should not renounce without self-realization. Act on all without an attachment to the result. Whatever needs to be done must be done. Remove the thought that I am the doer. Everything is getting done through this body. Such a seeker is giving up, letting go, tyagi, sacrifices. Those who perform rajasic and tamasic action, that is desire prompted actions, there are 3 ishtam, anishtam, mishram, 3 benefits. Something, whether either anishtam is either they go to hell or they get an animal body, maybe a plant. That is anishtam, not favorable. They get human body. Sometimes we like, sometimes we don't like it. That is mishram. And ishtam is they get a divine body. They become a deity or they go to Swargaloka. That is ishtam. So anishtam, mishram, ishtam. Those who act without attachment to the result is not affected by any pain or pleasure. That is, they have no birth, they have no death. They attain liberation, inner peace while in this body, here and now. Verse 13 and 14, he says, for all our actions, we have 5 tools. One is this body, this food sheath. This body, without this body, nothing can be done. So this is the foundation, this is the basis for all activities. Number 2 is prana, air sheath. Breath is the second tool. Third is the mind. Without mind, even if one has the body and breath, nothing can be done. Then the intellect. Intellect is the decision-making faculty. One has to, this intellect guides the mind. Otherwise, he's only a daydreamer, right? So the intellect is the karta here. Then the last 5th one is Ishwar. Ishwar is the reflection of the illumining consciousness. We'll see it in the slide. So all these five are required for any action. These five are the cause for all actions that we perform, whether they are right or wrong, good or bad, righteous or unrighteous. The reflection, the Ishwar gives the power, but does not say this should be done or this should not be done. The breathing power, the mental power, understanding power, physical power, all are bestowed on us. With these powers, a human being chooses to do whatever action that they want to do and face the consequences. Atman is the illumining consciousness. God does not perform anything. God is akarta, abhokta. God is generator, operator, dissolver. The anatma is what is karta. Atma is akarta, abhokta. We must realize that I am that atma. Whatever action is performed, this body is functioning. I, atma, is not performing anything. Only with that knowledge, moksha, liberation is possible. The body will face the consequences. Therefore, unless and until we are aware and follow sattvic food, sattvic prayer, charity, action, it would be very difficult to eliminate rajasic and tamasic life choices. So, for example, we need to know the route. Wherever we go from point A to point B, we need to know to avoid the pitfalls. Maybe there may be a road construction or accident or traffic. So we need to know the exact path to destination. Life is exactly the same. Life is a journey. Where do I want to end this life? So scriptures gives you the destination and also path to do it. Very much like a GPS. That's what Bhagavad Gita is. Now, verse 18 to 40 is Karma Yoga. He's emphasizing on Karma Yoga. All our activities are classified into two principles. One is knowing principle, another one is activity principle. We see an object and learn and know about it. We have never seen it, but suddenly you see something and then, oh, wow, now I get it, what it is. So then we develop an interest. Then we develop a like or dislike toward it. Then we make efforts to attain it, get it, right? Or otherwise. Scriptures refers this as Icha Shakti. Icha Shakti, Jnana Shakti, Kriya Shakti. The entire life, universe acts on these three principles. That is knowing principle, which is Jnana Shakti. Then developing desire is Icha Shakti. And acting on it is Kriya Shakti. The more we know, the more we desires and the more actions follows. Initially, you show a balloon and $100 bill to a child, a kid. The child will choose the balloon, right? The desire thought has not developed in it. So also human beings, the desire to know Brahman, Atman is not developed. We have not got that Icha Shakti initially. Unless you enter into the spiritual path, you don't know that. You don't know that you have something better than what you have today. So for a child, you show an object. After a couple of years, the desire to have it, that desire starts. And if you don't give it, the child will start crying and does everything to get that object. Therefore, to gain knowledge, the experiencer, the experienced object, and the connection between the two is required. Now, Krishna is going to explain Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas for knowledge, experienced of actions, and the doer. Experiencer, experienced, and the tool that is done or the action that is done. He's going to talk about Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas. He takes the knowledge first, Jnana. There are two types of knowledge. One is Paravidya, another one is Aparavidya. Paravidya is the knowledge, Brahmanyana, supreme presence. And everything else is Aparavidya. So the supreme knowledge is Advaita, non-dual, Ekatva, one alone is. That is Sattvic knowledge. Seeing unity in diversity is Sattvic knowledge. What is right and what is wrong, what is truth and what is not truth, that's also knowledge. By knowing, following righteousness, eliminate unrighteousness. And this is in thought, word, and deed. It is not just actions. Every thought must be positive one. Because whatever we think, that's what comes out in the form of word. If I think that person is bad, my words towards that person will not be positive and supportive and encouraging. So thought, word, and deed should be in alignment, resulting in gaining what is the ever-present truth, that is sattvic knowledge. The entire universe is inert. Inert means they don't know what I exist, right? The Agni doesn't know I exist. The Varuna doesn't know I exist. Only Atman knows I exist. The entire universe is inert, and all activities are called Maya. That is what Prakriti is, nature is. It's a Maya. That Brahman is the substratum of everything, all existence and all activities. One who sees everything, all existence, all appearances as one, has sattvic knowledge. It is not the sight with visual with eyes. It is the vision. You see multiple parts. You can see multiple parts with different names and forms, but what is only clay. You can see multiple waves in the ocean, but what is only water. It appears differently. You can have multiple tools, but they are all made of iron, right? You have multiple jewelry, chain, bangles, bracelets, nose ring, toe ring, whatever. But they are all name and form. What is only gold. This is Abheda Jnana. Vedam is the difference. Abhedam is without difference. Equanimous vision. Verse 21 he's talking about Veda Jnanam, which is Rajasic knowledge. I am different from you. That is Dvaitam. God is different from me. That is Dvaitam. But we have to go only from Dvaitam to Advaita. You cannot directly go to Advaita as Jiva. Unless we have done all this in previous births. So I am different from you. God is Brahman is different from me. All are different, separate from me. This is Rajasic Jnana, knowledge. Bhinna Bheda Darshana, seeing duality in one. This is emphasized in Maya Panchakam also, how Maya plays a role. Verse 22, this body is made up of 5 elements. That is what me, associating oneself with this inert body, not knowing that I am beyond this body. That is tamasic. When you say aham and idam, I am this. Anything that you say this is not this is not me. I am the witness of this body. When I say this, my mind is working, my mind is agitated, my mind. So mind is not me. It is my tool. So those when we okay, so let's stop. So that is tamasic. Can you hear me?
Now we can, but your video freezes sometimes. So maybe everybody should take off of their videos so the bandwidth is okay. But anyway, yeah, now it's okay.
Yeah. Okay. So Supreme is beyond name and form. Sculptures, statues are all representations. Brahma is not confined to statues, sculptures, pictures, or bodies. Abheda Jnana, knowledge, is sattvic. Dehatma Bhava, that is tamasic. So that is described the sattvic, rajasic, and tamasic knowledge. Beauty is based on ashram. Ashram is stages of life. So when performed without expecting a desired result, it's karma yoga, is sattvic karma. Say learning, doing addition and subtraction is elementary school. Then one need to go beyond that. Similarly, based on our mental structure, each one has different duties in a society, family, and to oneself. Those must be done without expecting personal gain. Such an individual does not consider himself as the doer, but things are getting done through that body, mind, and intellect. That is a symbolism of flute, as we saw earlier. There are many activities in front of us. Knowing what needs to be done and to do it without like and dislike is duty, that is sattvic actions. 24 is Bahula Ayasam, that is those actions that are performed with tremendous effort and intense desires or rajasic knowledge. Desires are of two types: studying scriptures, listening to them, drawn towards spirituality is one. These take one individual to a higher plane, or sattvic actions. The second one is that which leads an individual deeper into samsara, craving to make no more money, accumulate wealth. They compromise their eating, their sleeping, their health, their relationship, everything to make money. And then after 50, 55, when their health goes down, then they try to invest all the money to get back. But once lost, it is very difficult to get it back. So we have to think clearly before we act. So excessive overwork, these are rajasic actions. Verse 25, not knowing the pros and cons of our actions, performing or acting, understanding the consequence of the action is tamasic action. Doing it in haste, in a hurry, without thinking, or emotional decisions. This could result in the loss of physical health, financial loss, and even loss of our life. In verse 20, he uses few words, anubandham, not analyzing the consequences of actions before doing. Say somebody suddenly quickly resigns a job because I don't like the boss. Or the boss lays off a very efficient performer and then finds it very difficult. Or divorce, anything without thinking, emotional decisions. Those are anubandha. Shayam is not thinking about the loss of time, money, and health. Himsa is causing harm to other people around. Whatever decision I make, even though it is about my health, if that is going to cause harm to others, family members, then I have to think before I act. Paurusham is taking on the task without thinking whether I am capable. I will do this, I will do that, but am I really, can I do it? Can I accomplish it? Is it possible? Do I have plan of action? Do I have physical health to do? Thinking before, we need to analyze it. So this just jumping into something is another one is tamasic actions. So karma yogam is sattvic karma. Desire from action with ego is rajasic. Performing prohibited actions due to delusion is tamasic. Now not knowing the process. So now the summary of 23 to 25 is the knowledge of the one divine supreme is sattvic knowledge. The knowledge that allows us, makes us see others and world separate from us is rajasic knowledge. The one who is convinced that the body is Atma and strongly attached to it is tamasic. The vision that divine and I are one is sattvic knowledge. Brahman is different from me and all beings are different from me is rajasic. Brahman is different, like Krishna, Allah, Jesus, Rama, all differences among various religious beliefs, and the focus is only on the name and form. Actually, there is only one divine. But when we are tamasic, we focus on the name and form. See, you can think about our own mother. Our mother is only one, but we can call that, she has different titles, maybe a daughter, a granddaughter, a sister, a wife, a daughter-in-law, whatever. But the person is only one, same with God. Words may be different, names and forms may appear different, but the what is only one. Now, verse 26 is talking about the doer, experiencer. One who is without attachment, detached attachment, without ego, that is without self-pride, arrogant, without arrogancy, and one who thinks superior to others. These are all egoistic behaviors. Accepting life as is. performing all actions with full devotion, not in a haphazard way, but we have to be honest to ourselves. I did my best. Others recognize it or not, I don't care, but I did my best. So that is the doer. So sattvic doer. So accepting the results as a gift without a sense of doership, that is sattvic doer. Who is a rajasic doer? One who is focused on the results of actions, that is with likes and dislikes. I want this, I want that, I don't like that, all those thoughts. Wouldn't perform without getting what is in it for me? If I have to do something, I need something back. What is in it for me? That is rajasic. I need to get the benefits more than others. Comparison, that is rajasic. One who is focused on self and hurts others with words, doesn't think about speaking. That is again rajasic. Unclean, both personal and environmental and in thoughts. Then gets elated when one is happy and gets depressed when one is in difficulty, challenge. These are all rajasic doers. Now, one whose thought, word, and deed are not in alignment, without manners, without etiquette in words and actions, arrogant without respecting others, one who cheats on others, not dependable, one who willingly destroys others' lives, one who is lazy and always whining, complaining, never satisfied with what we have, what one has. That is without a sense of gratitude. See, if you pause and think about it, we should be all be. Prayer is nothing but gratitude. We have a home, we have 3 meals a day, we have a family to take care of. We are not in this outside, lying on the street, outside the temple with half clothes and a tin begging for money. We are far better off, but we always want more and more and more. So that is the thing we want to be express that gratitude for what we have. So no commitment or no focus, one who is habitual procrastinator without a goal or a plan of action or a deadline to accomplish anything, a daydreamer. This is all tamasic doing. Work expands with time. That is one of Parkin's law, scientifically. Being busy is different from being productive. My mother used to say, don't do unnecessary tasks. Keep on doing unnecessary. Do what needs to be done. And my father used to do what only you can do. All others, that you get it done through others. So they have an opportunity to learn and grow as well. If you want to do everything, then you won't be able to justify all your actions. So we want to very clearly analyze and find out what only I can do, I will do it. Others, I can give opportunity for others. So up till now, Krishna mentioned knowledge, actions, and doer. Sattvic knowledge is Advaita, non-dual, Abheda Jnana. Rajasic knowledge is Vedam, duality. Tamas yoga. Rajasic is decide prompted actions. Tamasic action is performing acting without analyzing the consequences, without analyzing the self-qualification, and also harmful to others. I don't know why again. So verse 26 to 28. We talked about Sattvic, Rajasic, and Tamasic doer. Now, verse 29, Krishna is identifying 3 qualities of intellect, that is, and willpower, buddhi, and functionalities. One is manas, the flow of thoughts. Manam, buddhi, chittam, ahankaram. Manam is flow of thoughts. Chittam is memory. We remember everything that happened the past 50 years. That is chittam. Buddhi is the one that makes the decisions. It analyzes any situation, pros and cons. Can I do it? Should I do it? What happens if I do this? What happens if I do that? How do I make? And making a final decision is intellect. And then ego is ahankara. I am doing it. I and mine. That is ahankara. So now he is going to give the sattvic intellect, tamasic and rajasic intellect, and tamasic intellect. What should be done and what should not be done is the ability to decide. That is intellect, right? So the sattvic intellect is able to identify those two differences. The intellect makes the decision, knowing they're able to do this, and I am able to do it. And what is right, what is wrong, is to be able to distinguish. Discern is sattvic intellect. The ability to know what one should be afraid of and what one should not be afraid of is sattvic intellect. Some think about God would punish us. God would not punish us. God is a Abhayamurti. But we teach the children, young children also, God will punish. Don't do this. No, that is not sattvic. Right? In transactional reality, it's actually fear is a blessing. It helps us to be cautious, but we cannot see, should not be afraid of everything that we cannot, then we cannot function. The ability to differentiate that is sattvic intellect. What is going to bind me? What is my life's goal? What I should do and I should not do? What I need to be afraid of and what I should not be afraid of. If a toddler has a knife in his or her hand, then we can be afraid of, right? So, but we cannot be afraid of God punishing. That is not sattvic. Now, verse 31, he's talking about a rajasic, not knowing what is right or wrong, what is rajasic. What needs to be done, what should not be done. Unable to identify these differences. Always in doubt, confused. Should I do this or should I not do this? It's always in a state of confusion, is rajasic intellect. 32 is understanding, knowing exactly what is right and wrong is sattvic intellect. Confused state is rajasic, not clear of what is right or wrong. Understanding, being firm in the wrongdoing is tamasic intellect. Oftentimes you can see that in teenagers, Of course, they come out of it afterwards. But when they're teenagers, they prefer to choose what the friends say rather than what parents say. So they are not able to differentiate what is right and what. Not sure whether it is a rope or a snake is rajasic. This is definitely a snake. I see a snake. I feel the emotion. I am afraid. That is tamasic. When in fact there is only a rope. So Arjuna was confused whether fighting was righteous or unrighteous. As a warrior, his duty was to fight. Initially, was tamasic. He was saying it's not right to fight. Self-doubt, that was rajasic intellect. I don't know what is right and wrong. He surrendered to Krishna in chapter 2, verse 7. The intellect that decides what is right as wrong and what is wrong as right is tamasic. It is in ignorance, does not understand clearly. We all experience this in our life once in a while, or even our circle. We need to self-assess and eliminate rajasic and tamasic intellect. Only in spiritual path, there is a possibility to self-assess, self-reflect, and then detour as needed. No other karma can help you there. That is why in early stages, we need to give freedom to our children to make mistakes. That is how they learn. Our focus needs to be on their safety. Allow them to make mistakes and fail. When they forget something to take to school, they will remember next time. Whenever it's very important for them to forget something and go to school. Okay, I forgot this. Okay, forgot my math book. And then when they come back in the evening, next day they will put that book, all the books, make sure that everything is right. Unless they make mistake, they will not learn. So it is important for parents to know that, allow that. Now verse 33 is Dhriti. Dhriti is willpower, conviction, determination. One who is pursuing spiritual austerities, that is listening, reading, contemplating, meditating constantly and consistently, is sattvic dhriti. Not like New Year resolutions, right? So once you commit to yourself, make sure that it is done until the end. That determination, unwavering power, willpower, strength to carry out one's wishes in the spiritual path on a regular, consistent manner is sattvic driti. Like we all are attending now for a long time. So when we do not have this firm willpower, we will start based on our emotional decision and will be unable to continue for an extended period of time. Consistency is the key. There won't be, if we are not committed to it, then there won't be consistency. Verse 34, the willpower, the name, fame, power, position, promotion, all these are rajasic dhriti. Then these individuals will perform prayer, charity, spiritual austerity on a grand scale with big flyers and social interactions in a crowd for publicity. So that is rajasic dhriti. Now verse 35, daydreamer without action. He is used and pride or tamasic dhriti. Dhritarashtra was legally blind and was blind to his son's atrocities. Because he did not have the clear knowledge of what is right and what is wrong. He was so much attached to his sons that he was confused. He did not listen to his gurus when they tried to guide him. That was the pride of the king. Such individuals are always sad and in fear throughout their entire life. They hold on very, very strongly to the wrong conviction and is always confused, afraid, and go through physical and mental ailments. Now, 36, everyone's perception is different. What one likes may not be liked by others. 36, 37, 38 talks about sattvic, rajasic, and tamasic happiness. We enjoy spiritual classes, but others, not everybody might enjoy it. I have students who have come, and then after some time they are bored. They are not ready for this type of serious talks. So, but there is no right or wrong. It is their level. It's like, you cannot teach calculus to a third grader, I say. So that person has to come up to 8th or 10th grade. So also. So some enjoy alcohol, cigarettes, but others don't like it. Once we are connected with an object and continue the experience that pleasure for a long period of time, it becomes a habit. The longer abhyasat, Krishna says, practice, effort we put in, the greater the happiness. Constant, consistent, regular practice is the best option to minimize pain and increase happiness. That which is like a poison initially and finally evolves into nectar is sattvic happiness. Because everything is difficult before they are easy. Quitters never win and winners never quit. When we consistently meditate or practice self-knowledge on a day-to-day basis, that happiness leads us to the inner peace with tremendous mental strength. Atma balam, buddhi balam, we call it, that is sattvic happiness, sukham, sattvic sukham. Verse 38, that which seems like a nectar at the start and later it turns into poison is a rajasic happiness. We have seen this in others' lives and in our own lives. This gives pleasure to our senses and later affects us. Like we enjoy eating junk food. Of course, junk food is all tastier, but later on we face the consequences. Often we don't like healthy food and later on health is compromised. Verse 39, that which confuses, dilutes, intoxicates. Here the spiritual ignorance. Therefore, laziness, sleepiness, carelessness, and others. Some are always in bed without a goal, without an action, without any drive or urge to accomplish anything. That lethargic attitude. These are tamasic pleasures, and they just drag through the life. There are few, they will drag through the entire life talking about others, talking to others, and chit-chatting, eating, sleeping, and the days and years, age 60, 70, 80 years, they'll keep on going and then leave the body. So You want to analyze that question, think about it. This is all tamasic. What is the purpose of this human existence? Why did I take this body, the body birth of the human body? That should be the key. Now, verse 40, from grass to Brahma, the creator, everything is bound by these three gunas. As long as we are bound by these three gunas, beings are in the cycle of, all beings are in the cycle of birth and death. That is samsara. We keep coming back and back. That is the significance of Vishnu Chakra. Keeps on going until you realize that I am that. Brahma, Vishnu, Shivam, the Trinity, God, generator, operator, dissolver. They are all titles, they are all actions, like CEO, CFO, COO. These are all have three gunas, attributes, properties. Brahma has no rebirth, and unlike beings, according to scriptures, we are going to see some slides that yugas, there are 4 yugas. Treta Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, Kali Yuga. They are going to show the scriptures. I'm going to show all those now. So I will stop here. This is a slide, verse number 40. Let's go to the slide. Let's have the screen. This is part 1, chapter 18. We are here now. Hope all of you can see the screen. This is verse 1 and 2. Nitya karma, naimitya karma, kamya karma, nishiddha karma. Nishiddha karma is the one that we are not supposed to do. Nitya karma is daily activities. Naimitya karma is situational activities. Kamya karma is decided prompted activities. So Krishna says, giving up actions motivated by is what is learned in a sacrifice. Relinquishing the fruits of actions is what the wise declare as. Okay. Now, entire human life is a yajna. This is home that we do at home, that is temple ceremonies, weddings, birthdays, funerals, all this that we do that is home. Yajna is performed for 3. I don't know why it is happening again and again.
I think there's a bandwidth problem at your end. So something's going on with your internet. So
yeah, something. So home is on an individual basis at home, and yajna is doing it for a particular need, desire that we want to. Internet connection is unstable. I get the message. For whatever reasons we do it. So that is yajna. Yagam is doing it for the benefit of the society, for rain, relief from flood or famine, betterment of society. Okay. This is our entire philosophy is cause and effect, karana karya vicharam. So when we see the rain on the street is wet, we understand that it is there was a rain. But everything has got a plurality. The rain is good for the fields, but when there is a building construction, the rain is not good. Same thing with the lamp. The light is there, it gives brightness so we can read something, but at the same time, the fireflies die in it. Yes, so the seed, unless the seed destroys, the plant cannot come. So it is called constructive destruction. One has to go to get the other. That is, plurality exists in this universe. Swadhyaya means that is, he's talking about prayer, meditation, going to temple, all these things are Swadhyaya. That is Yagyam, Dana, Tapas. So now Yagyam is Vedic rituals, all these are, and then Yagam is doing it for the Loka Sangraha, for the universal benefits. These things must be done for the or for the family holder, but it is not a must. It's not a must for brahmacharya, vanaprastha, and sannyasa. It is a must for the family holder. Now this is Panchamahayagya, Deva Yagya, Rishi Yagya, Pitru Yagya, Nara Yagya, Bhuta Yagya. That's why we do the Rangoli here, we do that column in rice flour, and this we feed the animals, other beings. So when I was in Bangalore, and I had a tap in the backyard, and the monkeys would come. Those days in 1970s, they would come, open the water and drink it, and then they don't know how to close it. They'll just go away. I remember that, so I took that picture. And this is where I feed the birds on a daily basis. So you just put something and the birds will come and eat it. That is one of the yajnas. Sattvic renunciation. This is what I was talking about. The monk who sold his Ferrari. There's a book how he sold everything and went to sannyasa. That is Sattvic sannyasam. Then Rajasic sannyasam is one who is delusion, unable to differentiate what to be done, what not to be done. It's confused. Tamasic is running away from the duty. I will escape. And so I don't have to, I can just renounce all my actions. That should not be done. Sattvic sacrifice, doing one's duty without expecting anything, as an offering and accepting whatever results one gets is a sattvic. See, when we go to the temple one day, we may get a sweet, next day we may get a flower, and that too a small petal. Third day you get just a ash, vibhuti. You cannot ask for, give me a pongal. Same thing, that is symbolic representation of whatever you get in life. Accept it. Okay, this is the situation. Now let me handle this. So that is sattvic. Rajasic and tamasic sacrifices, actions are eliminated completely. We should not. For the embodied being, that is, having taken the physical bodies, it is impossible to give up any activity entirely. But those who relinquish the fruits of actions are said to be truly renounced. I will do my best. Whatever comes, I will accept. That should be the sattvic. Then, unless you are detached from this body, upon gaining and realizing that I am not this body, all actions must be performed. I live in this body. This body is a temple for the Atman. So those who perform sacrifices go to hell or take animal form. It is not favorable, anishtam. Human body, sometimes we like, sometimes we don't like. When we have pain, that is mishram. Then they go to heaven or become deities, that is ishram. So the heaviest burdens that we carry are our thoughts in our head. So learn to let go of fear, envy, hate, anger, regret. All these are of the mind, not for me. They are of the mind. We need to learn to let go of all these emotions. Now 13 to 15, 5 things are necessary for any activity, that is to run. Again, transactional reality, we have the knowledge principle and activity principle, right? To gain knowledge, we need experience, and the experienced object. Same thing with activity principles also. To do anything, we need three things: the doer, the active action to be done, and the performance actions. So that again here talks about Jnana Shakti, Ichcha Shakti, Kriya Shakti. We need to have all this. The more we know, the more desires and more actions. Sattvic Jnanam is ability to differentiate the truth from appearance, right from wrong. Abheda Bhavana. an equanimous vision. Everybody, everything is one. We can call this as vegetables, or you can call individually, you can call it carrot, potato, cucumber. You can individually call it, or you can just call it vegetables. You can call all this, look at all the waves, but there is only water. Rajasic is Veda Jnana, that is difference. That person is different from me. He is bad, this one is good, that one is educated, this one is illiterate, homeless. All these things are in our mind. That is Rajasic Jnana. Tamasic is I am this body, I am the accomplisher, I did this, I did that. That is arrogance, that is all Tamasic Jnana. Sattvic karma, and any action without expectation, performing without expecting a desired result. I will do my best. Whatever comes, I will accept it. Rajasic is desired prompted actions. I'm going to do this so that I can get this. There's a difference between this thought versus confidence or setting goals. Setting goals, you expect it. You do your best and for a particular goal. But you may get or you may not get it. That is not in your hands. There are so many other variables. So you want to know the difference. Tamasic is performing without analyzing the consequences of actions. Acting without analyzing the pros and cons. Oh, I shouldn't have done this. I wouldn't have done this. You have to analyze it before you actually do it instead of doing it aftermath, right? So humans said, that's what Anjaneya said. When I realize I am Atma, Rama and I are one. When I see myself as a jiva, body, I am his servant. I am at his service. So it's how we see ourselves. Aham Brahmasmi, I am that. Then our attitude will be, there is only one, equanimous, sattvic. 28 is sattvic karta, which is one who performs karma yoga, later renouncing the doership. That is sattvic karta. Rajasic karta is one who is focused on results of the actions with ego. Tamasic is performing this with a strong attachment to this body. I am always right. Sattvic buddhi, intellect. What should be done, what should not be done. We all should be able to decide that. Calm and balanced quality of mind. Rajasic buddhi is unable to see the difference between what is right and what is wrong. Self-doubt. Tamasic is being in the wrong. I will follow whatever I think. Whether it is right or wrong, I'm not going to think about it. I believe this is the right path and that is the wrong one. That is tamasic buddhi. Conviction. Sattvic conviction is one who is constantly, consistently pursuing austerities. Swadhyaya. That is, again, self-inquiry, personal questions, and then following the path through scriptures and teachers. Then rishis, all the textbooks that are given by rishis. Rajasic is performing spiritual practices for publicity, name, and fame. Tamasic conviction is daydreamer without actions, fear, sadness, confused, and with pride. Sattvic happiness is the greater the practice one puts in, the greater the happiness. Rajasic happiness is that which is difficult in the beginning, but later gives you the nectar. Tamasic is that which gives you pleasure in the beginning, later it evolves into sadness. Now, this is the 4 yugas we were talking about. Kali Yuga is 432,000 years. Dwapara Yuga is twice of this. And Treta Yuga is 3 times this. And Krita Yuga or Satya Yuga is 4 times this. This whole one yuga, that's also called as Iron Age, Bronze Age, Silver Age, and Golden Age. So there are 14 lokas according to Sanatana Dharma, which of course nobody has proved it because nobody has gone there, come back and told us. But we have to have that Shraddha, unconditional Shraddha in our scriptures. So these are 14 lokas. This is Bhuloka Karma Bhumi. So wherever we go, we have to stay there, enjoy our punya, and then come back to Karma Yoga. Only in Karma Bhumi we can realize the self. If we do lot of papa, then we go down and then come back here. Again, we have to come back. So until we realize the self, we are going to be traveling here. Okay? So this is a rare opportunity to get a human life. It's better to get it now instead of going up or down. So daily dissolution is called Nitya Pralaya. That is, we wake up in the morning, I starts. The thought I am awake starts. And then all day I did this, I went there, I accomplished this, I did this, all these things, thoughts, I sustains. And in deep sleep, I is dissolved. So that is generation, operation, dissolution. That is called Nitya Pralaya. Now, we went 4 Chatru Yuga. We saw the yugas, the previous yuga. Yeah. This 4 Chatru Yuga, right? So when 4 Chatru Yuga, 1,000, all 4 together one time is 1 Chatru Yuga. When 1,000 Chatru Yuga is one creator's one day, Brahma's one day. That is called Kalpa, 1 Kalpa. At 1 Kalpam, there is a Naimithika Pralaya. Then at another 1,000 days, that is the daytime. And another 1,000 Chatru Yuga is one night, that is 2nd Kalpa. At that time, again, everything is freezes. That is called Mahayuga, cosmic dissolution. So at 1 Kalpa, first Kalpa, at the end of first Kalpa, only these 3 dissolves. At the end of 1 Kalpa, at the end of 1 day. At the end of 2 Kalpas, everything dissolves. 2 Kalpa, Mahayuga, cosmic dissolution. Everything dissolves, and that is called as Prakritik Pralaya. The entire Prakriti dissolves. Dissolves means they are frozen. They are frozen. Everything is dissolved, frozen, absorbed into cosmic light, according to Vishnu Purana. Now, when the Jiva realizes that I am that Jiva has no birth or no death, that is Atyantika Pralaya. There are 4 Pralayas. So I think this is the end of today's. So this is the end of today's verse 1840. So we stop here and then we can spend a few minutes for question answers. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.